Okay, just a minute. Okay, the recording has started. All right. So, good afternoon, everybody, once again, and you're welcome to today's class. So, today we are going to be rounding up lesson one, and then we are going to be looking at competitive analysis and KPI architecture. Competitive analysis and KPI architecture. Now, I'm sure that some of us might have heard, competitive analysis, you know, platform landscape analysis, or even what KPI means. I'm sure that some of us might have heard this before. We are going to zoom in on these two things, and then we'll try and link everything in module one all together. Do you understand my point? But we'll try and link everything, in module one all together. It's very important that you are able to read the competitive markets, right? Even though people normally say that don't focus too much on your competitors, right? Don't focus too much on your competitors, right? Because your competitors don't pay your bills, so it's best to focus on your customers. But that is said in terms of not being, not making beating the competition being your motive. It should be pleasing the customers. But at the same time, you can learn from your competitors. You understand my point? You can learn from the competitors. It's just like, when you are in a race, right? You want to focus on what's in front of you, but you want to be aware of what's coming behind you. You want to focus on what's in front of you, but you want to be aware of who's coming behind you. So take, for example, right, let's say, hypothetically speaking, let's say you are being chased by a lion and someone says, don't look back, don't look back. Please make sure you look back so you know how fast you are running or how fast the lion is running. Right. But at the same time, you also need to keep your eyes on where the route of escape is. So that means the goal is the escape, but you still need to be aware of where the danger is coming from. Do you understand my point? So we are going to be looking at you know, how to do competitive analysis, how to define what success actually means, right? How to what should I focus on? I'll give you an example, right? This week, one of the things we did at Brainiac was to edit our brand brain, right? That's our brand identity, right? We did an audit that, okay, based on where we started from, when we started building this platform, building this product, building this company, down to where we are right now, what has changed? What have we discovered? This was not part of our discovery in the beginning, but now we have discovered X, Y, Z. And how does that affect what we are trying to do? Now, based on our own ICP, how does it affect how we frame the company, right? And then we're able to change a couple of things in terms of our tonality, our approach to content as well. There are certain contents that Brainiac had created for us that I spent time, I just told it to pull everything out and delete them or archive them, put them somewhere for later, and then or restructure them so that it addresses key issues that our audience, are facing. So it's very important, right, that you're able to define what success is. Because sometimes if you don't define what success is, you won't know when you've achieved it, how far you are from it, or when you are going off course. I'll give you an example. Now this is talking about KPI now, just giving you a summary. If you do not have an idea of what success looks like, you won't know how to get there. If you don't have an idea of what success looks like, you won't know how to get there. For some people, right, success is growing their followers. For some people, success is increasing engagement and reach. For some brands, success is all of these things together. Do you understand my point? So we're going to look at how do I frame my KPI, right? When am I overreaching? I mean, when am I being too optimistic, right? When am I moving from optimism to clearly daydreaming? Do you understand my point? I heard a quote from someone a couple of days ago, and the person said that it is the result that justifies if you're a genius or if you're a mad person. Yeah, it is the result that justifies if you're a genius or if you're a mad person. I dare say that within the Nigerian context, or not even within the Nigerian context, within the context of life, for example, it is the result that justifies if you are determined or if you are being stubborn. I'll give you an example. If you take a decision about your life that people say don't take, now when that decision pays off, they will say, oh, it was determined. But if the decision does not pay off, they will say, oh, he was stubborn. Everybody told him, he did not answer. So that means the result is what justifies, right? What people would say about the approach. So we need to know exactly what are we, when you're creating a strategy, what is the end goal? What are the KPIs to measure if this is successful, if it is not successful, or even if we need to abandon this entire approach? One of the things I learned when I was learning product management and how to manage a startup is fall in love with the result, not the idea. Yeah. Don't be too stuck on the idea. Know when to pivot, know when to change, know when to change strategy, know when to move on to the next thing. And I feel like that's one of the things that many of us don't know how to do. Do you understand my point? Now, you might stay with the entire, what the end goal is, but how you get there can change. So we're going to start from competitive and platform landscape analysis, right? Now, within every industry, there's something called a gap. Now, a gap is simply an untapped opportunity. A gap is an untapped opportunity. A gap is an untapped opportunity. Now, your competitor when it comes to social media is not just the brand that is doing something similar to what you are doing. When it comes to social media, your competitor is everybody. I'm going to repeat myself. When it comes to social media, your competitor is not just everybody or anybody doing what you are doing. Your competitor on social media is everybody. Why? Because everybody posts, and everybody's posts come to where we call the feed. Every post on social media lands where? On the feed. That means both the post that relates to what you do and the post that does not relate to what you do, the audience has the same chance of seeing everything and the same chance of not seeing everything. Are we together? The post concerning what I do, my own content, and every other person's content comes to the same place. That is the feed. Do you understand my point? So that should tell you that you're not operating in a vacuum. Your audience feed is the battlefield for attention. And on the interest graph, you are not the only one competing with your direct rivals. That means you are competing with everything that lands on the feed. A restaurant is competing for the same 3 seconds of attention as a comedian. A news clip and a Christian and a skincare brand, they are competing for the same 3 seconds of attention. What determines if I'm going to stay on your video content or any content at all, and you do this every day, right, is that first 3 seconds. Now, imagine how many times you scroll. How many times do you think how long do you think 3 seconds is? A lot of times, we don't even read through whatever is in the content. That means if I'm going to spend the next 5 seconds, right, on any content, depends on the first 3 seconds. Are we together? What determines if the audience will spend the next 5 seconds on any content is the first 3 seconds. Do you understand? Now, that means competitive analysis, when it's done right, is not about copying your rivals. It's about filling the gap that nobody is filling and claiming it before anyone else does. Competitive analysis is not about copying rivals. Now, copying rivals when it comes to content production can be quite good in terms of just giving you a lot of content. But guess what? At a particular time, you need to find what is called a moat, M-O-A-T, meaning what is that key thing that makes you special? Are we together? Now, there should be content that this one, you just saw it, you copied it, and then, it joins the viral feed. Do you understand? But when you do your competitive analysis properly, right, the idea should be to find a gap that nobody is filling and claiming it before anyone does. Now, there's one thing I would like to mention. there's one thing I would like to mention, and that is this. What should determine if you are going to claim a gap is how big the gap is. How big is this gap? That means how many people see this thing as a problem? How many people are interested in this thing that nobody else is doing? Do you understand my point? So you want to start asking, not, you want to stop asking things like, oh, what are they doing? You want to start asking, what is nobody doing? Now, a proper strategy combines both what are they doing, what can we do better, what is nobody doing? Because what is nobody doing is going to become your differentiator. Now, if you notice people within the skit making industry, right, every one of them has a particular phrase that they introduce. Are we together? I'll give you some examples. Look at Taoma, for example, when when Taoma came out, right? Who can tell me what the key thing was that all of us go to Taoma's page to see? What makes you pause? What are you waiting for in Taoma's video? When Taoma just came out, I'm not talking about now. When Taoma just came out, what are you waiting for? Can anybody tell me? You can unmute, please. You can unmute, please. You can unmute. Rashida, you can unmute yourself and answer the question if you want to answer the question. I'm asking the question again. When Taoma just came out, the what exact? I said the slapping exactly. Please, I would like you that when I ask a question, if you can unmute yourself to answer the question, that would be very good. Everybody was always waiting for the slap. Are we together? And for years, she made sure that that slap was always in her videos. Are we together? That means she didn't try to include too many different things. So if you are watching Taoma's video, and all of us could relate to the slap, because if you are an African child, you have at some point received the slap. Do you understand my point? Now, what about Mr. Macaroni? When Mr. Macaroni just came out and was doing content, what was the key thing that at that point nobody was doing it? But if if you hear him, you know that this is going to be in the video. Who can help me?
Only.
Oluwatimileni, you can go ahead.
He always got disappointed at the end of the video.
But there's a particular phrase. There's a particular phrase. That's what I'm looking for.
Okay.
Sorry,
I'm not trying to recollect.
Okay. There's a particular phrase. You always hear it in this video.
You are doing well. Like, fine. You are doing something like this.
Exactly. So if you look at many of them like that, right? If you look at many of those skit makers, you would always find there is a particular phrase. There's always something that, this came into the industry because of them. Do you understand my point? This particular phrase, this slang, this approach came into the industry because of this person. What about this guy? Lasisi. Lasisi is even two things. Lasisi was doing two things. He had a particular phrase, right? And in fact, his entire approach was different. Now, who can tell me the most noticeable thing in Lasisi's video when it came out? You can unmute yourself to answer the question, please.
Okay, so there's
a
particular filter he usually uses in his videos.
Exactly. Now, was there anybody at that point that was using that filter like that?
No, there wasn't.
Good. But were there other people that were using the filter on their own social media pages? or maybe for their own pictures or videos.
Yes, a lot of people were using it on Snapchat and all, but not to
Thank
make that
you.
sense.
Exactly. So that means that particular feature, it was not a secret, but nobody was using it the way he used it. And then he was always angry in every video. He will always say, "Are you normal?" He will always start calmly, but we end in fights. And notice this also, he was always in his car. Do you understand my point? So when you do a competitive analysis, right, you are seeing all of these things. But you see, the key thing about competitive analysis is for you to be able to identify something that nobody else is doing. Now, this something that nobody else is doing, or something that nobody else is saying, right, an approach that nobody else is taking, might not be in your content it might not be what dominates your content, but you start putting it in there. I'll give you an example. For us at Brainiac, there is no platform right now that is an AI marketing operating system that handles the entire end-to-end framework of marketing. And not just AI, and agentic marketing, where you can have agents that are doing everything. Now, are there AI for marketing? Yes. You understand? Other marketing platforms are already introducing AI to what they do, right? Buffer is already building their own agents. HubSpot, they're also bringing in agents. But when it comes to end-to-end marketing with a brand brain, many of those other platforms don't even have a brand brain. That means the chances that their AI understands and retains the context of your brand is very slim. Do you understand my point? So we've been able to find one thing that nobody else is doing, and we have put it in our story. In fact, it has become almost like the center of our brand. That we let our audience know that, look, with Brainiac, it retains context. That means it doesn't matter which of the platforms you are operating, it knows your brand and is going to retain the quality based on what it knows about your brand. Do you understand my point? So understand the fact that you doing what everybody is doing can be a starting point, right? You taking inspiration from what they're doing can be a starting point, but you want to bake into your story, right? Something that nobody is doing. I'll give you an example. The first betting company in Nigeria is not even Niger Bets. It was Naira Bets. I mean, sports betting now. It was Naira Bets, owned by this senator. Who can remember his name, right? But when Niger Bets came out, right, they began to do more marketing in terms of more social media, more branding. They were spending more money into marketing. But the truth is that the fact remains that Naira Bet was the first of all of them. Do you understand my point? So it's very important that you begin to ask yourself this question, right? What exactly am I doing right? What exactly are my competitors doing right? Now, how can I improve what is already being done, or what is nobody doing? At the end of this lesson, you should be able to audit your competitors with purpose. Now, not aimless scrolling. Be able to audit them with purpose, right? A defined framework, you need that every time. Do you understand? Identify content gaps and white spaces. The openings the competitors leave behind unclaimed, right? You're able to apply that content, right? That content PMF framework, right? And also, finally, you're able to turn analysis into advantage, meaning after you finish analyzing everything, you can then turn them into actions. So that is what you should be able to do at the end of this class. And more importantly, you should be able to use a tool like Brainiac to get those things done. I'm going to show you an example. Take, for example, when I come to the social app on Brainiac, for example, right? I'm able to just come to my feed right here because Brainiac already knows my brand. It already knows the brand. right? And also because we already have information about our competitors, we're able to, through the feed, keep an eye on what the competitors are posting as well. Now, I said don't focus on your competitors, but we are aware of them. That means somewhere you need to be tracking what they are doing. That is your awareness. Do you understand my point? So right here, we're able to see our own feed, meaning what we are posting, what we have posted, and we're able to see the analytics as well. But over here, I think my network is a little bit slow. Over here, we can see the market feed. The market feed is where we have what the competitors are doing. So I'm going to show you more about this much later. The market feed is where we have what the competitors that we are watching, what they are doing, what are they posting. So we're going to come back here much later, but I just wanted to show you that. All right. So back to our class, back to our lesson. Where is that? Okay. So decide the decision before you start. Now, what does this mean? The natural move is to scroll competitors, conclude they post a lot, right? Produce nothing usable. But the professional move is to decide what decision to audit will inform before you start. Platform choice, content pillars, positioning, then audit against a fixed framework. Now, this is what I mean. You want to make sure that before you start auditing, you're not just going to a competitor's feed, to a competitor's page, and you say, oh, they post a lot. They post at least 5 times a week. Okay, how does that information help you? Do you understand my point? They post 5 times a week. Okay, nice. How does that information help you? So before you start the audit, you need to know, okay, what are my key takeaways from this audit? What am I expecting to learn from this audit? What exactly am I auditing? An audit without a proper purpose, right, is just scrolling with extra steps. An audit with a purpose produces a decision that you can defend. Do you understand my point? So that means I'm not just going through a lot of information without any idea of what my takeaway at the end of the day is. Do you understand my point? So what to audit for every competitor? Number one is the platform mix. Look at what platforms they use. Where are they? What are they telling? Why aren't they here? Do you understand what I'm saying? Meaning, if I'm looking at other competitors for Brainiac, for example, I want to know, okay, which platforms are they using? Right? Which platforms are they using? I want to see if this has finished loading. Okay, that's finished loading. This is for Brainiac. Okay, still loading. So I'm going to come back to this. Okay, so I want to look at what platforms they are, right? Meaning, where are they? Now, what story are they telling? And where are they not doing much? That's where they aren't. What are their content pillars? Now, your content pillars are frameworks, right? Phrases, words that shape what is in your content. Your content pillars are framework. It could be a framework. It could be a phrase. Do you understand what I'm saying? That shapes what is going to be in your content. Almost like content topics. That's what we call content pillars. Your content formats. What are the content formats that they are posting? Are they posting reels? Are they posting carousels? Are they posting content, text? Or is it long form? Or are they doing a lot of lives, a lot of webinars? Do you understand? And also, content formats and platform, they go hand in hand. For example, we did our own competition space, right? Let me give you an example. We are going to use this as an example. Within our own competition space, okay, these are the platforms that we are watching, right? We are watching Canva, Clickatel, Copy.ai, Daba, Oddspot. These are the platforms that we are watching. And Binak has been able to help us to pull, for example, this is for Canva, LinkedIn, what they posted on Facebook. This is from today. This is from yesterday. This is from Monday.com. This is from Razi. So these are all platforms that we are watching. Now, based on this, I can come to Brainiac and tell Brainiac to do an analysis for me based on everything they posted last week. And I can use that information to compare with what we are posting to see if we are doing better compared to our competitors. Or I can tell Brainiac to help me identify a gap in terms of what they are not doing, what they are not posting based on what they posted last week or last month. you understand what? If I need inspiration for content, I can easily come here. Do you understand my point? So if I want to do an audit, right, based on this particular framework that we have here, I know exactly what I'm looking for. How often do they post? Their engagement quality, not volume, their engagement quality, not volume. Now, Brainiac would give you the volume in terms of how many, but you can also tell it to score. Take, for example, look at this particular stats we have up here. The view rate for all of these brands is 140%. How many posts? 362. 5 accounts for each of them. I can begin to filter one after the other. Now, okay, I want to see only what Canva is posting. I want to see what only copy.ai is posting. Do you understand my point? So I can audit each of them, right, based on this particular framework and compare it to what we are doing. And I've already mentioned why I might want to do that. I might want to do that so I can gain some inspiration, learn some lessons from them. Do you understand my point? The engagement quality, the voice and the positioning, meaning how they sound. Top 5 and top 5 and bottom 5 posts, meaning what are their best performing posts? What is their community response? Meaning, what is their audience saying? Do you understand? So these are 8 dimensions of things that you want to keep in mind when auditing a competitor or when auditing your competitors. It's best for you to just, have all of them together. Meaning you want to make sure that you just have all of them together. Let me see if I can copy this. Let me see if I can copy all of these. Okay, I can't copy all of this, but I think I should be able to copy this entire slide. Okay, I can copy this entire slide. So you want to copy all of this. When I send you this slide, you want to copy all of this, right? And you want to save it somewhere. That this is your auditing framework for your competitors. This is how you want to look at your competitors. Where are they? What platforms are they using? Right? Which platform do they even use the most? You might even want to go deeper, right? In your platform mix, you want to rank which is their priority platform, which is their least active platform, and why are they least active here? Could it be because of their ICP? Are they more active on LinkedIn because they want to sound authoritative and professional, and because their brand is a B2B? Do you understand? So you want to look at what is their priority platform, right? When you are auditing their platform mix, okay, why are they more active on this platform? So you want to have questions. So even under all of this auditing framework, right? These 8 dimensions, you can have questions that you need to answer for all of them. You can have questions. How often do they post? Now, this cadence, this number 4, how often do they post? It could vary depending on platform. It could vary depending on platform. A platform can be more active on Instagram and post every day, right? And on LinkedIn, they only post once in a week. Why? Their audience might be majorly on Instagram, not on LinkedIn. Do you understand what I'm saying? So you want to, make sure that you are thorough. That's just what I'm trying to communicate. You are as thorough as possible, right? When you are doing audits. Do you understand? Now, 3 kinds of competitors. 3 kinds of competitors. There's your direct competitor. That means they do the same product, same audience, they have the same baseline. They have what's already table shakes in your category. That means they are doing the exact same thing you are doing or something close. Now, indirect competitor. That means you have different products, but you are competing for the same audience. The same audience. Now, this would reveal how your audience spend their time when they are not thinking about you. Now, this will give you an idea of what other alternatives are also there besides you. You understand? Then aspirational, competitors. These ones most likely don't even know that you exist. They are bigger brands. They are executing well. They are studied to learn the ceiling. The ceiling means what is the highest, achievable, height in this particular industry or in this particular content direction. What great looks like at scale. Now, you would learn something different from each of them. So that means you would want to classify your competitors based on these three different categories. I'll give you an example. For Brainiac, for example, in the future, right, we want to be like a suit that has a large, they generate massive revenues. I think billions of dollars, for example, right? That's aspirational for us. Now, direct, okay, you're looking at something like Zoho. Even though Zoho is more of a workspace application, right? But they do have marketing tools as well, and they operate in our own market as well. In fact, Zoho is the most used platform within our space in our immediate locality, that's in Nigeria and Africa. Not many people use Sprout Social. Not many people use Buffer. Do you understand my point? But a lot of people use Zoho because they are also quite cost effective. Sprout Social is quite expensive. Do you understand my point? Buffer as well is quite expensive. So that means only big brands will most likely use Sprout Social and Buffer. But the everyday businessman would think about using Zoho. So in terms of direct competition, right? Zoho, they can also fall for us as an indirect because they have more tools that are not even marketing based. You understand my point? So you want to classify your competitors. You want to classify your competitors. Now, when you classify your competitors, this is where you now want to spend more time. You want to look at where is the gap and then the white space. The gap and the white space, we are talking about the same thing. A content gap is a topic, angle, or format that your audience wants that your competitors underserve. White space is an unoccupied position in the category. It could be a tone, an angle, a format, audience segment. That means it's not necessarily one thing. It could be multiple things. It could be a topic and a content format. I'll give you an example. I noticed that a brand like Zoho, they do a lot of picture-based content. Not even carousels now, just picture-based content, right? So we can be looking at, okay, we want to start doing carousels and maybe founder-led videos. That's one of the things we are working out, where I have to put my face out. Maybe I'm a very reserved person, but now I have to put my face out there because I want to be directly in the face of the audience so I can get first-hand feedback. Do you understand? So I want to add human elements to the content. I want to show people, I want to do explainer videos. So that we're not just telling people, how to do XYZ. We are showing them how to do it. So we are doing short explainer videos. That means if someone needs to do something on Brainiac, he can easily go to our social media page and go through our videos, and he automatically knows how to get it done. Do you understand my point? So those are different, white spaces, different angles. I want, like what we are doing right now, we are teaching, right? We are filling a gap that not many of our competitors are filling in terms of creating an academy where we focus on how to use AI to get work done fast in marketing, in content creation, in digital marketing. Do you understand my point? So these are angles that we have discovered. So you also need to be able to discover those angles, right? Now, like I said, the angle could be a particular framework. It could be a topic. It could be a content format. So and a lot of times you want to make sure that you are not lifting too many things at the same time, meaning you want to start with the high impact one. You want to start with the high impact one. Mr. Peter, could you mute yourself because I can just see a lot of background interference coming from your side. Could you mute yourself, sir? Mr. Peter, can you hear me? Okay, I'm going to just do that for you. Are we together? So you want to make sure that you are able to, fill in the priority gap. That means you don't want to be doing everything at the same time. You can't fill all the gaps at the same time. So you have to look at which one is the top priority. By top priority, I mean, which one is it that if you fill this space, the reward is higher. So you want to start by tackling that. For us, it's the educational aspect of things where we train people. Our target for this year is 1,000, where we train at least 1,000 marketers. We're already planning for the next cohort. Do you understand my point? And the goal is so that we can have as much people knowledgeable about how to use AI for content creation. It's that simple. AI for content production, AI for social media management, AI for digital marketing, strategy creation. Do you understand my point? So it is very important that you know this principle. You are going to win by being different and not merely being better. Now, I use not merely to show you that, okay, being better also works. So you don't want to discard doing the same way, the same thing in a better way. Do you understand? But going beyond there to find out what makes you different in your content. In a crowded feed, being 10% better at what everyone is already doing is invisible. Are we together? Excuse me. But when you are only able to, but when you are the only one that is doing a particular thing, now that's a good starting point. Now, mind you, when you start doing something in a particular way and people notice it is working, expect that people will join you in doing it in that way. It's that simple. But there's something called first movers advantage, meaning you will have an advantage because you started it first. Do you understand what I'm saying? But don't stay with the I started it first narrative. You always want to continue to improve. You always want to make sure that you are also improving. I'll give you an example. In fintech, everyone posts glossy, financial freedom motivation. You understand? Everybody that does stocks, for example, everybody that does forex, everybody that does anything in fintech, right? They're all talking about financial freedom. But you see, the white space is specific. It's practical. Plain spoken money content. Sometimes in pidgin, because not many people are doing pidgin-based financial literacy content. And that's what a large amount of people that need financial literacy don't speak good English. They are the market women, for example. They are the Igbo boys that are selling parts at Ladipo. Do you understand my point? They want to learn financial literacy, how to manage your money better. Do you get my point? But the moment they come to a class like this, for example, and they see somebody that is just blowing English, right? Automatically, you've lost them. So that means if those guys are my target audience, I'm not going to be speaking this many English. I will just start to blow plenty pidgin. You get my point? If I can't speak good pidgin, I'll get somebody on my team that is a correct worry guy. Why? So he can communicate properly to my audience. So you see that using the fintech as an example, everybody is talking about financial freedom. Everybody is talking about how to send money fast. How many of you have noticed that? That nowadays, right? What everybody is talking about the most in fintech is sending and receiving money fast. Now, we moved from sending and receiving money fast to international currency. Send and receive money fast from other countries. Now, notice they moved from sending and receiving money fast locally to other countries. Now, that's what everybody is focusing on. Now, there is also another one that is already creeping into the fintech space, and that is stable coins. How to, get things done with stable coins. Do you understand my point? So you see that as it's moving, more people are adopting that storyline, and people are also already looking at how to improve. What is the next big thing? What is the next new thing in this space? So it's very important that you are not static with your let me use the word with your research. I have a routine I created on Brainiac, which I'm going to show you how to do during the course of the class, right? Where Brainiac does a research about our industry every Monday. Every Monday. Brainiac does a research, and I have the research waiting for me in my workspace every Monday by 8 a.m. So the first thing I do every Monday by 8 a.m. is to read the research based on, latest news, what other brands are doing. So because I want to know what they're doing. I want to be aware of what they're doing so that we're not left out. so that we are not oblivion, right? We're not seeing, so that we don't, we don't get left behind if the industry is shifting, especially from, competitors that are our aspirational competitors. We want to know what they're doing. What technology are they paying attention to for the future? Are we together? Are we together? All right. So now 4 ways to find the gap. Number one is overlap analysis. List what everyone does, meaning that place that is saturated, and then what nobody is doing. That's number one. List what everyone does, and then what nobody is doing. Number two is comment mining. I think I mentioned this in the last class. Comment mining. Unanswered questions in the competitors' comments are gaps handed to you for free. Number three is the format gaps. Everyone posts, polished statistics. Nobody is doing raw short form video. I think I mentioned this earlier as well. What kind of content? What is the gap in their content type? Number four is the angle and audience gap. Everyone is chasing the same tone, or the same segments, an honest or undeserved one sits open. That means the one that nobody is really, really looking at. It could be a subtle professional tone or a playful, fun tone. Do you understand my point? So you want to, look at these 4 ways to find your gap. And the truth is that there are gaps to fill. There are gaps to fill. So you just have to look at which one of them, right, you want to fill. Which one of them gives you the highest reward. Now, it's very important that you do your content product market fit. Now, let's look at this place. Now, there's something called a product market fit. Product market fit. Now, in tech, product market fit simply means you are trying to look at which audience owns the problem I am solving. A lot of times, tech founders are advised to do their product market fit even before they start building. Even before they start building. That means, whose problem am I solving? Now, this is in tech. Now, for content, you want to find out. Now, before I go to for content, in tech, there are times whereby you've created a particular solution, but you did not define the problem properly. And you are trying to now push the problem to an audience, and you realize that, okay, so this problem that I have solved, people don't really see it as a problem. That means you now have to start doing a lot of education. Now, that is one. Number two, in tech, one of the things we do, which we are doing at Brainiac right now, we are testing different markets for our products. We are testing the B2B market. We're also testing the B2C market. That means direct to consumer or D2C, direct to consumer. Do you understand what I'm saying? Or B2B, that's business to business. We are looking at bringing in 100 businesses where we can just give all of them Brainiac for free, train their staff, their marketing team, and look at the feedback and see if at the end of that demo period, they get real value. What are we doing? We are doing what is called a product market fit. Now, when it comes to content, I think I just explained that. When it comes to content, right, a product market, right, when it comes to content, right, you are trying to do a content product market fit, meaning who exactly am I creating content for? Who exactly needs to hear what I'm saying? Do you understand? PMF simply means product market fit. What you're trying to do is a content that is specific to a particular audience. Are we together? One of the advantages of using AI for this nowadays is that you can test different markets producing massive amounts of content. I was going to talk about the video I shared a couple of days ago from Alex Omozi, right, in this direction. The reason why he would post 1,000 videos per week, if you go on their socials, if you go on Alex Omozi's Instagram, you'll see over 4,000 videos. That means most of those videos get deleted within the first 24 hours. Why? Because they are using that level of production to test what the audience is consuming. So so let's say in one day they post maybe 200 videos on, and I'm sure that they have more than one brand. It's not those 200 videos, the 1,000 videos that you mentioned in that video. It's not for one social media page. It's not even for one brand. Have you never saw the video? If you saw the video, just type 111. The video I sent to the group. If you saw it, the Alex Omozi video. If you saw it, please type 111. If you saw the Alex Omozi video, please type 111. Awesome. Who else saw it? It can't be only Mr. Sam that saw it now. I sent an Alex Omozi video, I think that was 3 days ago. If you saw it, please type 111. There are some of us that dropped an emoji on the video. I was like, okay, they've seen the video. Okay, so I'm gonna just take it that I'm gonna just take it that only one person saw it. So when we drop things like this on the group, it's good for you to check it out because they are educational, right? I just saw it and I felt, oh, this would be good for my class. Let me send it to my people so that they can see this particular video. In the video, Alex Omozi mentioned that there was a time that they were posting 1,000 contents per week. 1,000, not per month or per week. So that is the context I'm currently speaking, right? Now that 1,000 content is not on one social media page and it's not even for one brand. So that means they are doing an average of 150 posts per day. Do you understand my point? So that means across their platforms, I'm sure that this guy also, Diary of a CEO. How many of us know Diary of a CEO? If you know Diary of a CEO, please type 111. You know Diary of a CEO. Diary of a CEO. It's a podcast. Diary of a CEO. If you know the podcast, could you type 111? Let me see. Okay, thank you. Grace knows that. Okay, awesome. All right. So Diary of a CEO, when I was privileged to view one of his recordings where he was teaching a class, and he mentioned that any video you see on YouTube is the final cut of multiple tests. That means he said they normally try different carousels, different thumbnails, for example. Yeah, he said they can post a particular variation of a video and they can post, like 4 or 5 versions with different thumbnails. And it's the one that has the highest engagement rates after a particular number of hours that they then keep and they delete the rest. Do you understand my point? Now, what are they trying to do? What they're doing is a content product market fit. They're trying to see people's reaction to this format and that format. And then whichever one has a good, depending on the metric they're trying to measure, either engagement or views or an aggregate of all of them, whichever one does best is the one they keep and adopt as the primary engagement or primary content type. Do you understand my point? So you don't want to get yourself glued to a particular content type from the start. You want to try different things out. You want to try carousel. You want to try video. You want to try text, long form text. You want to try different content formats. Do you understand? Because you can have an idea in your head, but guess what? You might not have thought about it from every angle. A content product market fit is equals to right audience multiplied by the right message, right format, right platform. Now, on LinkedIn, for example, everybody says, even I say it that, on LinkedIn is a place where you can do a lot of short form writing, long form writing, both short form, long form, as long as it's text. But guess what? LinkedIn recently have started pushing their own video platform. So that means their algorithm is going to be inclined, their AI is going to be inclined for more video suggestions. Why? As for them as a business, they are trying to push more video content. So that means the best content format for LinkedIn would change over the next couple of years or months. LinkedIn could go from the place where it's cool to have long form content, long form text because people will read it. Then it becomes a platform whereby you can easily run your coaching because now maybe LinkedIn introduces a subscription format and you can easily now post coaching videos for people to subscribe. Do you understand my point? So that's what I'm talking about. So it's good for you to be able to test different things on different platforms. Now, this works perfectly if you have an existing platform. Now, if it's a new platform or a new business or a new social media you want to test, it's advisable to test. Now, if you are working for a multinational or an already established brand, now the room to test is also limited because I'm sure that a brand like Nigerian Breweries would not allow you to be testing videos on their platform. Now, this also depends on the execution strategy. Do you understand my point? But for new brands, you want to do a lot of tests because you can't be too sure about what works just from competitor analysis alone. You can bring one thing from the competitor analysis, but you forget that, oh, your competition is not in Nigeria. That is why if you go to your brand brain in Brainia, we kind of help just to separate international competitors and local competitors so that you don't, always think and assume that your competitors are only in Nigeria or in Africa and not look at those that are abroad. Or you don't always think about those that are abroad and you focus on those who are within your vicinity. Do you understand? So it's very important that you're able to run a lot of tests. For me as a person, one of the ways I see serious content creators is a content creator, a social media manager, a digital marketer that is willing to run tests. One of the ways you can even run tests is by having multiple social media pages for the same brand, and the goal is to run different content types. You can also have, instead of posting once a day, you are doing 4-5 posts a day. Yeah, and then eventually, by the time you nail down which one works, then you are deleting the ones that have little to no engagements. Do you understand my point? If you understand my point thus far, type 111. You understand everything I've taught so far, type 111. Type 111. You understand what I've been teaching so far, type 111. All right, awesome. So let's go to the next thing. Your feed tab is this lesson. Your feed tab is this lesson. Your feed tab is this lesson running. I don't know why I use this particular header though. Now, the feed and competitor monitoring, view inside Brainiac is the competitive audit and content PMF engine from this lesson, right? You're able to track your competitors. You're able to see and actually learn distribution. So you're able to actually earn distribution in your own niche, spot the gap, without manually screenshotting every single post. Do you understand what I'm saying? Now, later we're going to see what you can do in the Content Studio and analytics. Sorry about that. Content Studio and analytics. But for this particular audit, right? If you want to do an audit right now, this is where to start. So let's do it practically. Let's do it practically. Like I said earlier, you want to come to your social feed. Now, everybody is usually on the agent app, right? You want to click this button up here beside workspace and you click social. It brings you here to this page, to this dashboard. Now, this dashboard is the Brainiac social app where you can schedule content, look at your media library, you can see your content calendar and then analytics, connect your social media. That is what this is for. Right, so think Zoho Social or Buffer or Hootsuite Social or Sprout Social. That is what this is for. Do you understand? Do you understand my point? So you want to come to your feed right here, and you want to your feed will always start from this owned feed. That is your own feed, your own content. right? You want to, that's the first thing it's going to bring out for you, right? And it's going to show you your own posts, your own posts. Now, if I now want to see my competitors, right, all I need to do is this, market feed. Let me close this so you can see the full screen. Market feed. What the market feed is are my competitors' content. That's what market feed is. So by the time you're scrolling down, you should be able to see your competitors. Now, if you can't see your competitors, you can't see them here, or this place is blank. Now, it's not that it's loading, no, it is blank. Click on Manage Market Sources right here. It's going to bring this out for you, right? It's going to bring this out for you. And you can now do Ask Agents to fill the missing URLs. I'm going to send, this video is going to be on the page. What you are doing, if you click on this, I can't click it because of, this is a live page. What you are doing, if you click on this, is you are telling Brainiac to find the missing social media links for your competitors, and it should fill in those social links. That means look, these are the computers that I am looking at, Andela, Canva. So this will help you get their Facebook, their TikTok, Facebook, TikTok, X as well. This is for Canva, for example, right? This is for Clickatel. This is for Daba. All your competitors, it will help you get their social links. So once that is done, right, you can then refresh. Once that is saved, you can refresh. Then it's going to help you to populate this place. So that way, you can see exactly what your competitors are posting. So this place can serve as some form of inspiration bar for you. Okay, I think my page keeps on refreshing. Okay, so this place can serve as some form of inspiration bar for you. Now, it's quite important, right, that you know how to operate this particular place, meaning you can also be able to either switch the view to a list view, or you want to view it like a social media page. So you can do this. So you'll be able to view it like a social media page. Do you understand? So that is what you get in the feed. For example, I'm seeing all of Canva's posts. Canva is doing a lot of posting here. And this is a video. This is a video that they did for TikTok, Monday.com. So you see all your competitors there. Now I can click this to see what the top hashtags are. So this is for hashtag analysis. I can click this to see what the top hashtags are as well, right? That's why that is loading. Or I can click this to also get a competitor analysis. Do you understand? To see what my competitors are doing. For example, this is a report of my competitors. And look at this. It says text formats are showing up repeatedly. Text, they have 21 text, 14 videos, 4 carousels. Do you get that? Now, the analysis I just taught you gave you a framework to do. Just by clicking a button, Brainiac has done it for me. And this is from June 26 from June 20 to June 26. Do you understand? So I can click generate now for it to generate the latest one. So while it's doing that, let me answer Igwe Ruth's question. Igwe Ruth, please, you can unmute yourself, ma.
All right, sir. I have a question on getting competitors or knowing what your competitors are posting. Now, you were talking about Brainiac bringing it. My question is, am I the one to fix the competitor? For example, I'm a clothing brand. Am I the one that will put, the different clothing brands that I have around me, or based on my description or my bio, Brainiac will be able to locate all clothing brand for me? So I want to know how it works.
Good question. Okay, so if I come to intelligence, that's on the agent application, right? And I come to my brand bio. Now, when Brainiac was setting up your brand bio, right? If you go to under markets right here, you will see where you have competitors. So you actually don't need to set anything, right? When your brand bio or your brand brain was being set up, Brainiac should have put in your competitors there. That is local competitors, international competitors, excuse me, then benchmarks as well. So a benchmark is a company you want to be like, right? What we call aspirational competitors, right? A company you want to be like. Do you understand? Now, they might not directly have to do with you, but they are successful within your space. Do you understand what I'm saying? Take, for example, Flutterwave. Flutterwave right now is the biggest unicorn out of Africa. They are worth over $3 billion. Do you understand? So I look at their structure, their platforms, what are the things they are doing right. I also look at their content. Do you understand my point? So I'm watching them. Paystack, Andela. Do you understand my point? What about international? I look at Linear, I look at Notion, Webflow, Superhuman, Airtable. Do you understand my point? So these are now I can then choose to add to this information just by typing it here. So if there is a particular competitor that I want Brainiac to be monitoring for me, I can just come to my social here, come to my feed here, excuse me, come to my feed here and click on under market feed. Click on manage market sources right here. Do you understand? And I can come here, right, and add it there. Just I can type it here, choose if it's a benchmark or a competitor, what platform is it, and put the URL handle. Meaning I'm giving Brainiac, maybe of everything that Brainiac found, he didn't find this brand, but I know this brand and I like what they do. So I can just add their URL. That is the social media handle or their URL. That's the link to their page. I can add it here and tell Brainiac to keep watching them for me. Igwe Ruth, hope I answered your question.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
Okay. So based on that, I can easily come here. Let me start a new chart so that I don't wipe off what I was doing before. Okay, just a minute. Okay, probably because I'm sharing my screen. My network is a little bit wobbly. Okay. All right. So I can easily say, okay, I think I already have it here. Research competitors and trends. So I can easily just type that and it's going to look through my feed. Okay, this is too broad. This is too broad. Let me edit this a little bit. Research competitors and trends. No. Take a look at our content performance from last week into this week and compare with our competitors and benchmark and let me know what we can improve. All right, so that's it. So I'm telling it to compare all the data that is here, all the data here, and all the data here. That's what we posted, what our competitors posted, and what can we improve. Do you understand? Because right here, we can see that, okay, we have a 171% engagement rate. Engagement is this. Our best performing platform right now is Instagram. We have about 9,096 likes, 2 comments. Okay, so people are liking our content, but they're not dropping enough comments. Now, I can easily take this information and go back to Brainiac and ask, okay, what should we do? Because people are liking our content and, they're not dropping comments. So now to do that, Brainiac can suggest, because I know already that, okay, maybe we need to check our call to action. Our call to action might be more engagement based. It's not really, it might be more, maybe it's telling people to like the comments and follow us. But it's not really, steering people towards dropping a comment because it's not feedback based. Let me put it that way. Do you understand my point? So while it's doing this analysis, right? While it's doing this analysis, I'm gonna go do something else. Okay, so where were we? Well, hope you got that. Hope you got that. If you got that, type 111. You got that, type 111. If you didn't get it, type 222. You didn't get it, type 222. You got it, type 111. You didn't get it, type 222. So I can know if I should continue or I should repeat myself. Okay, Christy did not get it. Okay. Christine, what was the challenge? Which part didn't you get so I can know what to repeat?
I got lost a bit on the last part.
Which parts? Which part did you get lost? Is it the competitive analysis, how to use Brainiac for your competitive analysis? Which part did you get lost in?
No, the competitive analysis, I got it, but the last part,
Okay.
it just went. I didn't hear what you said.
Okay, so what I was doing in the last part was this. I was showing you how I would use Brainiac, right, for competitive analysis. Do you understand? That was what I was showing in the last part. So I wasn't really saying anything much. So
No,
take
there
for
I
example,
got.
so this is, yeah, sorry?
This part I got it.
Okay, yeah, I was just showing you how to do that. Do you
Okay.
understand?
Yes.
So this is the analysis that Brainiac has done for me. So let's go over that together before we proceed to the next thing. So look at this. It said before diving into this analysis, one thing must be stainly plain. Post-level metrics impression are returning 0 across all 12 platforms. This is not a performance collapse. This is blah, 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 blah. Okay, so let's look at what we have here. So that's our followers, impressions on LinkedIn, on Instagram combined, engagement rates, this on Instagram, this on LinkedIn, benchmark context, blah, blah, blah. Sorry, I'm trying to look for the key parts. Okay, so cadence and posting term and analysis. So we have 10 posts, post published 10 posts, 5 themes, 2 platforms. I'm looking for the key parts. All these ones is just stories. Okay, now we are getting there. So from what it brought here, this is the critical issue. Okay, critical issue. Let's get to the critical issue. Observations. HubSpot, what they do that you are not. So look at what Brainiac is telling us. What we are doing, or what they are doing that we are not doing. We don't have any educational carousels, meaning how-tos. We don't have any short-form video or demo, just like I mentioned earlier. LinkedIn text-only thought leadership post, we don't have. All we have are images, meaning all our content are images. Product demo, we don't have anyone. Consistent, non-promotional value. Brainiac is saying that we are promoting too much, meaning every promotional value. Wow. Founder team voice post, we don't have. There's no personal POV post. Community engagement, comment replies, no interactive format. Can you see that? Now, it just took all the 8 dimensions of audit that I just mentioned. It just used at least 4 dimensions of audit right here. Do you understand what I'm saying? At least 4 dimensions of audit right here. Now it's telling us what to improve based on priority. Number 1 is to first of all fix the metrics pipeline. That means that there must be a disconnection somewhere. Number 2 is to break the format monotony. We need to add carousels and videos immediately. Do you understand my point? It's saying shift to a 3-to-1 value promotional ratio. That means we should have more content that does not do with, us almost like we are selling the platform. We want people to come and join, come on board. We need to grow the LinkedIn page, introduce platform-specific content It's saying right now, you are cross-posting the same content to Instagram and LinkedIn verbatim. Yeah, okay, I should not be reading this. This is a very, very, but you get my point. So this is a very honest and brutal feedback based on what we are doing and what the competitors are doing. So I can then, I can then use this to create a plan. Wow. I can use this to create a plan, right? To rectify all of this. Now, imagine if you have to do this, what we just did now, this competitive analysis. Imagine if you have to do it manually. Do you understand my point? So one of the assignments I'm going to give you ahead of tomorrow actually is to connect your competitors. If Brilliant has not found your competitors yet, you need to fill that in or work with it to find your competitors. Connect your competitors and connect your socials. If you want to connect your socials, there are two ways to do it. You can either come to connectors here, right? Connectors here, or you can go here. Let me close this. You can come here and go to socials. You can come here and just click on connect. You see the connect button. So when you click on it, it will take you to the page where you can connect, just like this. So connect your socials. So once you are done with that, Brainiac would have all the data that it needs to help you do the competitive analysis. It will compare your content on your feed to the content your competitors have and give you something as brutal as this. So get ready for some very brutal review. Do you understand that? If you understand that, type 111. If you understand that, type 111. You understand what I just said? Type 111. Okay, awesome. So connect your socials. That's the most important thing. Put in your socials and then put in your competitors. Now, if you have not been able to put in your competitors, let Brainiac find them for you while building your brand brain. You can go and check your brand brain here, just right here, brand bio, to see if your competitors are there. In fact, you can do that now during the class, and then if you're having any issues, then we can address that while I go back to my slides. Igwe Ruth, you can unmute yourself so I can answer your question.
Okay, sir. This is actually huge.
Yes.
I don't know what to say because I'm just
Okay,
starting. So my question is, if I'm starting to
Mm-hmm.
build a brand,
Mm-hmm.
but in it, my socials are personal. Do I need to create socials for the brand I'm building?
Yes. Very important. Very important. So you are not your business. Your business is not you. Do you understand? You are not your business. Your business is not you. Now, you can promote your business with your personal page. Do you understand me? But it is very important that from the beginning, you separate the business and you. Hope you understand. It is very important
Yes,
because
sir.
if I go on social media and I type a business, for example, and it brings me a personal page, and I can't find a dedicated social media website or blueprint for that brand. You're already painting a picture. And the picture you are painting is that you can be charged small. Meaning, if you ask for 1 million, right? The person thinks, are you really worth 1 million? What structures do you have in place? And things like that. Do you understand my point? So you always want to separate the business and the person. I can use my personal page to promote Brainiac, but I will never paint it as though I am Brainiac. I'm not Brainiac. Are we together? So this is very important. I think this is very important when it comes to business structure. You are not the business. You are not the business. One of the things I have our accountants do, if I need money personally, right? I don't say, no, please give me some money over there. No, you can't do that. You can't do that. Is the company sharing profits? You're not sharing profit yet now. You understand what I'm saying? If I want to take a loan, if I want to take money from my business that is not my salary, right? It will be written down as a loan, and I trust our accountant. She will collect it, or she will deduct it from my salary, because that's the only way a business can grow. But if you don't separate you and the business, you won't know when your business is doing well or when you are the one killing the business, in fact. Because do you get my point? So the same thing with, because if you don't separate it, you won't have brand identity. It's important for you to separate your business from you so that you can have your own identity and brand identity. I can use my page to promote my business, but my business page and my page must be completely different. So please make them different. If you need to create new social media pages for your business, and then you now go on your social media and say, maybe you create a post and say, we are now on Instagram. You now give it to Brainiac to help you design the graphics, to design the graphics for you. Give me a graphics for a content that says we are now on Instagram. It will give you 4 different options. Do you understand what I'm saying? Then you can now post that on your own personal page and put your handle, your business handle, follow us and patronize us. You're already directing people to your business page. Now, if you post something on your business page, you can repost it or reshare it on your own personal page. But don't put both your business page, everything together. Don't do that. Hope you understand me, bro.
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
Yeah. Okay. So we have spoken about, hope we understand everything so far concerning competitor analysis. Before we go to goal setting and KPI structure. That's the last module. I actually want tomorrow's class to be maybe fully practical, so that we can finish. Maybe we might do an introduction to module 2, right? But fully practical. Hope you understand that. If you understand it so far, type 111. You understand competitor analysis. At least you can't understand everything, definitely, but at least for a little bit. Type 111. You have to go over the entire course again. You have to go over the entire slide to understand everything. But you understand the introduction and this bit. Okay, thank you for that, Madam Christian. So most social media fails quietly, and the reason why they fail quietly is not because the content is bad. It's because success was never properly defined, or it was defined by numbers that feel good but mean nothing. Emphasis on feel good but mean nothing. I'll give you an example. Oh, our video has 10 million views. Okay, let me show you something. There's a campaign that hold on. Let me pause this. Let me pause this recording. I'm going to show you this, but let me pause the recording. Resume the recording. So sorry, I didn't resume the recording. Thank you for reminding me about that. Someone should have just unmuted and reminded me. Are we together? Right? How does the overall activity, this activity that I'm doing, right? How does it affect the overall activity? How does it affect the overall business objective? Because one of the problems, that we have in the business world is that many people are busy, but they're not productive. And you will be honest with yourself if you've been busy, but you're not productive. One of the best things you can do for yourself is to be honest with yourself. Okay, I've been doing a lot of things, but can I really measure the outcomes? Can I really measure the results? You will notice that when you start thinking in this direction, it will change how you work. Because you will start focusing on things that the outcome is visible, meaning I can tell if I have failed or if I have done well from what I'm about to do. What is the expected outcome? Do you understand my point? So it's very, very important, right, that we are measuring correctly. All right. Down to the next slide. Where are we? Okay, slide 21. So the vanity metric test. A vanity metric looks impressive, but it doesn't inform a decision or tie to any outcome. That's what I just said. Run every metric through 3 questions. Does it tie to a business outcome, like I just said? Can you make a decision from it? Is it comparable and repeatable? I'm going to repeat that. Does it tie to a business outcome? Awareness does not tie to your business outcome. Sales ties to your business outcome. Do you understand? Well, don't let me say awareness does not tie to your business outcome, because awareness, when you want more people to know about your brand, they recognize the name. Yeah. Also, awareness can help with, if your outcome is to increase brand trust. People cannot trust what they don't know. There was something that we used to say when I was working with this fintech startup. We used to say that people don't buy from who they trust; they buy from who they know. That means before they trust you, they must know you first. They buy from who they see. You can be, in fact, you can be the person with the most integrity in the world. If nobody knows your brand, nobody is buying from your brand. That's the truth. You can be the purest, pristine brand in the world. If nobody knows the brand, nobody is buying from the brand. So that in that case, we can say a business objective can be to deepen awareness, to expand awareness. That means the major metric to look at in cases like that, right, are your reach, your views, especially the locations. Do you understand what I'm saying? So don't let me discard awareness, completely. But you want to make sure that you want to ask, does this metric, does it tie to a business outcome? For us at Brainiac right now, right, we're not yet focusing on awareness. Right now, we are still in our beta test, in our product market fit test. So we're not going to be looking at awareness as a metric. Every day I go to our admin dashboard to see how many people logged in, how many content was created, how many minutes did they spend on the platform. Do you understand? Those are the metrics that I look at. Do you understand? I go to our social media, right, and I look at some metrics. I just tell Brenda to analyze it for me, just like I did today. Do you understand my point? So you need to make sure that you are measuring the right things. Now, can you make a decision from that? If I notice that, for example, on our dashboard, if I notice that, okay, everybody is stopping at onboarding. What is going on? The next thing I'm going to do is to start having conversations with the user. Or we notice that you were trying to, you were trying to create an account. Did you have any issue? Okay, this is what I experienced. This is what I experienced. At the same time, we can also use our social media for this. Do you understand what I'm saying? If you have any issues on Brainiac, this is how you go about it. Just generate the support ticket, things like that. The information that people were stopping at onboarding made us to make the decision to create an email campaign. Yeah, we have an email campaign now. If you notice, some of us, for example, when you did not finish your brand brain, Brainiac would always send you a message on a daily basis. If you have your brand brain but no strategy, Brainiac will send you a message almost every day. Now, oh, you have a brand brain. If you have a strategy, no content, Brainiac will send you a message almost every day. So we have different email campaigns depending on where the person stopped on the onboarding. Are we together? That is because we are able to measure those metrics. We are measuring how many people have, continue to onboarding, how many people pause here, and we can now bring the same thing into our social media. Do you understand what I'm saying? We can see that a lot of people are liking our content, but we are creating one kind of content, just like Brainiac said today. Do you understand my point? Comparable. Comparable to who? To your competitors. Is it repeatable? Meaning, if you get it right, can you repeat the process that produced that outcome? Are we together? So if you're able to answer this, now you might not be you might be thinking in your mind that, okay, so how do I keep all these things in my head? You don't have to. Are we together? At different, I especially my mind, human mind, we don't retain all information. So what I do is that there are books that I listen to. I like to listen to books a lot instead of reading them. I like to listen to them because I know that as I keep listening to them, the more I listen to them, the more I remember them, the more I'm able to have something with podcasts. So, so this kind of class, for example, you don't need to apply everything. I can tell you this for free. Number of years I've had, right? I did not start thinking about all of these things. Are we together? I start with what has the highest impact in the project I'm doing, in the business I'm doing. Am I able to apply almost all of it now? Yes, but application is case specific. Do you understand what I'm saying? I'm trying to let you know that you don't need to cram it, you don't need to try to memorize it. You can always come back to your notes. You can always rewatch the videos as you proceed. Do you understand my point? So please don't try and stop yourself with too much information. Are we together? So the deliverable now is building the KPI architecture. So a KPI architecture is like this. It starts with the business goal. Number 2 is then you have the social goal. Number 3 is your primary KPI or your North Star. Your primary KPI. That is the one number that matters the most. The one number that matters the most. Are we together? Number 4 is 2 or 3 supporting metrics. That is now. Oh, sorry. Could you mute yourself? Someone's mic is on, and it's interfering a lot. All right, thank you. So the 2 or 3 supporting metrics. So always focus on what's your primary KPI. Don't forget I mentioned this. Have the most important. What is your most important thing? Your most important KPI. Is it number of views, number of reach? Is it awareness based KPIs? Yes. Is it engagement based? Now, if it's engagement based, it means when you are saying awareness, you won't be distracted if it's not leading to conversion. Do you understand my point? Do you understand my point? So, what is your target? What is the target now? Realistic, time bound, and benchmarked. Very important. Make sure that your target is realistic. You can't be spending 50,000 naira on an ad on any marketing, media buy, and you're expecting millions of views. That is hopeful. And I said this on the first day that hope is not a strategy in marketing. Are we together? Hope is not a strategy in marketing. Your target must be realistic, it must be time bound, it must be benchmarked. Finally, the reporting cadence. Meaning, is it weekly? Is it monthly? Is it quarterly? Now, if it's for leading, that means optimize things that you can optimize, then it should be weekly. That means you're optimizing on a weekly basis, right? Monthly or quarterly is for things that you can't control. That means things that, the lagging indicator. That means we have a quarterly sales KPI, but we have a weekly DM KPI, weekly conversion KPI, but quarterly sales KPI. Do you understand what I'm saying? So we can't be changing our quarterly sales, we can't be changing sales KPI or sales target every week. No. You understand? We can change the target for conversion in terms of number of inquiries on a weekly basis, but our overall sales should be the same. Sales target should be the same. Do you understand what I'm saying? So this architecture will then become your dashboard. The analytics app is where the architecture lives. Now, where is the analytics app? Right here. Let me show you. If you come on your Brainiac Social and you come here, analytics, right here. Sorry, I missed that. Come to analytics right here. Okay, let me change my network. Okay, can anybody hear me? Can anybody hear me? I just changed my network. Can anybody hear me? Hello?
Yes, yes, yes.
Okay, thank you for
I
that.
hear you loud and clear, sir.
Okay. Sorry, my network seems to be um Hello?
Yes, hi.
Hello? Can anybody hear me now? Okay,
Yes.
sorry, I got disconnected for some reason. I think my network is really misbehaving. Okay, it was my network. Okay, I'm going to share my screen again. Let me also check if the recording is still. The analytics page works fine. So apparently that was just my network. So sorry about this. I want to be sure that the recording, okay, the recording is working. Okay, so, all right, so this is what your analytics page in Brainiac looks like, right? This is what it looks like. Um, I'm going to do a quick run through, right? So right here, you can see your total followers. Now, your total followers here is your total followers across all your social media, across all your social media. Your total reach, this is also across all your social media. Same with your impressions across all your social media. Engagement rates too, across all your social media. Now you can choose to filter right here. You can choose to filter all, or you can change to, for example, we have Instagram and LinkedIn. So you can click this and then, you'll be able to filter accordingly. Do you understand? But I'm just going to keep this as all. Do you understand? So I can just also scroll this down to see more metrics. For example, total engagements, total likes, total comments, shares, your best platform, top formats, and all of that. So that is that. So you can also come here to see, for example, you have here your AI signals. Your AI signals, am I on this right workspace? Okay. Your AI signals here is telling me that, okay, I don't have an active strategy. That's because we are currently auditing our strategy. We have some posts that did not go live right here. Content calendar is currently empty. Also, we need to refresh the connected feed. That means that the information we have on our feed is stale. So we need to refresh it. And then we can also have a detailed breakdown right here. Campaign health, static post just 44%, post 29%. That means our campaigns are not doing well. Platform snapshots, we have 25 posts on Instagram and then 12 on LinkedIn. LinkedIn has a 33% engagement rate. Top content, we don't have any top content yet because we have just one content type. So format mix, we don't have any format mix. So that has not been established yet. Content, so not enough content data, right? So we still have a long way to go. Platforms, so these are platform snapshots to show the total number of posts. For example, you can see here this has 2K reach and all of that. Audience is still being analyzed, so we don't have that yet. What about hashtags? We don't have any hashtags analysis just yet. What about signals? Now the signals are simply recommendations, just like you said earlier. What about strategy? Because we don't have any active strategy yet. What about the feed? Okay, so this has not loaded. Competitors. Okay, so these are weekly competitors. So Canva, one post on Canva. This is from this last week. So that means of all our competitors this last week, only Canva has posted maybe this week. And they posted on Facebook. Image is their dominant format. Their stronger visible signal was this, blah, 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 blah. So you can also, once you connect your socials and you refresh it, right, you will be able to view these things in your socials. Do you understand? So you can also use it to do an analysis to view what is your current standing from an analytics perspective for your socials. Do you understand? You can also choose to export the reports either as a document or as a PowerPoint. Do you understand my point? So you can go over it and then, or you can just ask Brainerd to analyze it for you. And then instead of you looking at a lot of numbers, if not for this class today, I'm sure that I might not be coming to this particular page because most times I just don't bring them to analyze it for me. It's simple. It's as easy as, that is easier for me to do. And I'm able to make sense of the information. Instead of just, seeing a lot of numbers. Are we together? Oh, someone said they can't hear me.
Yes,
Can
sir.
you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay, awesome. All right, so let's go back to our slides as we begin to round up so I can take questions. Okay, so I said that, okay, I think, so I was talking about this dashboard, right? I was talking about this dashboard. So one of the things you're going to be doing as your assignments, I'm going to drop your assignments on the group, a very comprehensive assignment. I'm also going to drop a KPI framework on the group, right? And a strategy creation framework. What I'm going to expect of you to do ahead of next class, that's next week Thursday, sorry, ahead of next week Thursday's class, not tomorrow's class, right? Tomorrow is going to be very practical. Ahead of next week Thursday's class is for you to create a full strategy for the brands that you are managing on Brainiac. A full strategy. Do you understand? All right. What to hold on to. So every KPI traces back to a business outcome. That's what I said. Match metrics to the funnel stage, right, and the objective. Kill vanity metrics. It doesn't drive any decision. It's just noise. Optimize your leading indicators and report your lagging outcomes. 4 lessons, 1 audit. Your week 1 assignment is a 1-page brand social audit. Do you understand me? 1-page brand social audits. Choose any of the brands that you are managing, either your personal brands or, a business brand or both. Do a proper social audit. And in the audit, you want to find, number 1, these are the things I'm expecting. You want to do a platform fit recommendation for that brand. You want to create an ICP. You want to do the competitive analysis and decide the primary KPI. Now, this is not your strategy. You're only doing an audit. You are doing an audit of any brand. You can do for your personal brand or the case study brand. Don't do for Brainiac because I give you a lot of information about Brainiac already. Are we together? So note down the brand that you are going to be using, right? I will tell you how to submit the assignment. Note down the brand you are going to be using. I'm going to share this slide, right? Between tonight and latest by tomorrow, this slide will be on Brainiac along with this recording, right? And then do a proper audit. These are the things I'm going to expect to see in the audit. So this is your assignment 1. Assignment 2 is the strategy creation, which I'm going to share more information about it tomorrow, towards the end of tomorrow's class. Hope that's clear, everyone. When you get this slide, you would know exactly what should be in your assignment 1. So you're having 2 assignments. The first one is an audit. The second one is a strategy. So hope that's clear, everyone.
Yes.
Okay, awesome. The reason why I'm asking you to do an audit is this, right? In social media management, digital marketing, right? When any brand is brought to me, an audit is the first thing I do. So what I'm telling you to do is something very practical. An audit is the first thing I do. Before I even create strategy for any brand, I audit the brand first. And a lot of times, the audit is always a part of my strategy because I always, present, okay, this is what I found about your brand. And based on this audit, that's why I'm suggesting that we take this strategy. Are we together? So do the audit based on these 4 things. Let me take our questions. Tomorrow, I'm going to talk more about strategy creation. Tomorrow, I'll talk more about strategy creation, person analysis, SWOT analysis, and then I'll give you the assignment on strategy creation. Okay, so let me stop the recording so that we can take questions. Please, if you have a question, you can go ahead and unmute yourself.